You are now listening to the Red and Blue Rivalry Podcast, the podcast where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers and Dallas Cowboys.
My name is Eric Hernandez, repping the faithful.
And I am Philip Enriquez, repping for America's team. In Week 6, man, only one of our teams is undefeated. Only one of our teams is 4-0, the San Francisco 49ers. How you feeling after the big win on Monday Night Football over the hated Baker Mayfield?
I feel great, man. I mean, there was a lot of nerves with that game because we're coming off the heels of a bye. We didn't look that impressive against the Steelers. And Baker kind of seemed to find his rhythm. The Cleveland Browns found the rhythm against the Baltimore Ravens. So all of a sudden, people are like, wow, this is a close game. Maybe the Browns found it. And right off the shoot, I mean, you literally see first offensive play for the Niners, bang, 83 yards to the house by Matt Breida. And that was indicative of the game. We ran the ball down their throats, 275 yards.
Yeah, that run game is on another level right now.
Yes, and I mean, and it's him, and then, Tevin Coleman came back, and there's a lot of 49ers.
He scored a touchdown too, right?
Yeah. He 4th and 1 conversion.
Yeah.
He almost had 100 yards rushing.
Yeah.
They both, I think Breida went over 100. Breida also caught a touchdown pass, ran route, caught a hard. That was not an easy catch. That was a slant with the guy right in his face, caught it, bang. So, I mean, their running game is next level. I know a lot of 49er fans were kind of mad when Tevin Coleman came back because Jeff Wilson they had to put him on the bench and he scored the red zone touchdowns. But
yeah, he's a fan favorite.
Yeah, but you look at all you have to do is watch Tevin Coleman once and realize, oh no, this guy's special.
No, he's legit. Shanahan knows what he had, even from back in the Atlanta days. I mean, he brought him over for a reason.
Their running game, and then you have George Kittle, and I mean, on offense, I'll be honest, the way I look at it, we have the best rushing attack in the league, not the best running backs, but the best rushing attack, and we got the best tight end. I mean, not just catching, but the way he seals blocks. I mean, when you do breakdowns and he's sealing the edge and he's able to block, and then you can give it to him on a jet sweep and he gets 12 yards. Both of those Jimmy G conversions, I think in the third or fourth quarter, he threw short of the sticks. It was Kittle's ability to break tackles and get first downs. That's the formula for winning. You have a running game and a tight end that can dominate. That can carry you some places. And then you look on the defensive side, and my boy Bosa, man, he is a beast.
In my opinion, that is what is carrying this team right now. The defensive side of the ball, in particular, the defensive line. And in this Monday Night Football game, Bosa came in with the vendetta. I posted on Twitter. He was like Inigo Montoya from Princess Bride.
Yes.
Prepared to die. Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
And he did. He died.
He died.
Yeah, on Monday Night Football.
Yes. The running game, I'll just say this about the offense really quick, is that 4 games, 800 yards rushing. I mean, that's where they're going to make their bones on the offensive side. But the defense is leading the cause. The best unit on here is the defensive front.
Far and away.
And it is Bosa and Buckner and Armstead and Ford and Thomas. These guys are just beasts. And, I mean, they toyed with the Cleveland Browns offensive line. It wasn't even close. And you look at what, Robert Saleh decided to do when he decides, you know what? Yeah, I know Nick Bosa is a defensive end. Yeah, I know D4 is a defensive end. I'm going to put him on the same side. I'm going to run a TN stunt. I'm going to have Bosa crash one way and have D4 loop around. And guess what? Even on his knees, Nick Bosa got a sack. He should have, he was credited with 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. Should have had 3 sacks because the one where Baker Mayfield threw it away and got grounding, that was a sack. His knee was down. And then to celebrate by planting that flag right there. And not only did he plant the flag on Baker, I think he planted the flag on the NFL and saying, guess what? We're for real. Yeah. We don't have a lot of holes.
We asked last week on the podcast if the 3-0, or the week before, the 3-0 49ers, are they being underestimated? You guys have graduated, and you're going to the next level, and that next level is, where do you feel like the 4-0 San Francisco 49ers rank in the NFC?
They are the second best team in the NFC. I just truly believe. The only team I have above them is the New Orleans Saints, and that's because they've been able to do what they were able to do. They beat teams that people didn't think they were going to beat, and they beat good teams. And we did our rankings, and they beat the Seattle Seahawks, who we both have high. They beat the Dallas Cowboys, who were both on our list. So, I mean, New Orleans Saints, I think all roads go through New Orleans as far as you want to know what you are. It's going to go through them. But as of right now, aside from them, I mean, if I told you a team, if I just did in general, team has a great running attack, solid defense, and a tight end weapon, you think that team's going to go pretty far.
Look, let's just be fair. Bosa wrecked the game.
Yeah.
Bosa wrecked the game. Cleveland scored, 3 points?
Yes.
Baker Mayfield career lows, almost across the
I
board.
think he was 8 for 22 for 100 yards and 2 interceptions.
Terrible.
And a fumble. Or
Terrible.
2 fumbles, yeah.
I mean, he wrecked their game. He broke their game, and it was because of the pressure that your defensive line, and in particular Bosa, was able to bring. He came to bring the pain, you know? And when I see that is something that can carry a team into the playoffs, get you a playoff type of win. My concern would be more on the offensive side. I'm not doubting the running game, like you said. I think Breida, I think he's growing week after week as a player, as a running back. But I don't know. I see like a little inconsistency from Jimmy G, and I'm not trying to rain on the parade. Mm-hmm. I'm just simply pointing out what I see. I see little inconsistencies with his play. I see that he can make a beautiful touchdown pass on a dime, but then just make a late read and throw the ball in double coverage in the middle of the field. And I don't know, you know?
When I looked at the game, and I agree to an extent, I think he's still trying to get into the flow, but it's really hard because it's kind of like, I think Jimmy's kind of a rhythm passer.
Yeah.
But he's never really going to get a rhythm if the running game is going like that. You know what I mean? Because they're always just going to want to run the ball. So he had a couple throws. The one to Juszczyk that kind of was he short hopped it, and the one that Goodwin, he short hopped, but I thought Goodwin caught it. It was the one across the middle late where he almost got picked off. But you couple those in with like 2 passes, one to Deebo Samuel, and Deebo Samuel should have caught for a first down. And then the one to Dante Pettis where it was that quick
was a drop. Yeah.
That was just like, oh man, because that's a touchdown. And then you know what? He has 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards passing. It looks a little bit better than, 21 to I think it was 20 to 28 or 29, 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. But you know what he did do? He didn't throw any picks. So as you can see that he's progressing.
Yeah.
But is he at the point where we can lean on him if the running game's shut down? I'm not sure yet. I think he still needs to grow to get back to that 2017 performance. But when you have guys like George Kittle and you have that running game, the only thing that is really hurting us right now is injuries. We have lost both of our tackles and our fullback. Our running game is going to suffer. And then we face the Rams, which we'll talk about later. But this is going to be a tough test. And the only thing I hope is that both, the big game for me besides the Rams is the Seattle game, November 11th. And by then you hope that you have both your tackles back, your fullback back, and Garoppolo's kind of grown another leaps and bounds since this game. But right now, if they get downhill on you, if they can run the ball on you, I don't know how many teams can really hang with them.